spent a lot of time on it, and it's cooked with love, of course. But this is one where I don't know if I'm gonna post it. Alright, so everybody is Smiley, and today is Vlogmas day 13. It's my mom's birthday, so I didn't do too much vlogging today, but we did cook. And you know, since this is like a meal that I make for her practically every year, she really likes Ruth Chris Steakhouse. And so like for her birthday, that's normally where we would go, and she would get a T-bone. She would get a T-bone, she would get the sweet potato casserole, and then she get the cream spinach as well as a side. And so what I've been doing like the past few years is I'll make all of that here, and that'll be like her birthday dinner. So I ordered a T-bone steak from Walmart for our last Walmart list, but they didn't have it. So we did some barbecue chicken thighs earlier this week, and we did like 6 of them, and so we've only eaten like half. So I was like, well, you know, since we don't have a T-bone steak, we don't have to go out and get one. We can just eat barbecue chicken. We already have it here. It needs to be eaten anyway. So I was like, well, let's just go ahead and eat that, and that'll be like our meat, and then we'll have our 2 sides. And then her favorite cake is German chocolate, so I was gonna make that this evening, but she told me not to do any more. She was just like, well, just sit down and eat and enjoy the meal. But I'm like, I'm already in the kitchen, let me just go ahead and fix it right. So anyway, that said, I just went ahead and ate, and then didn't get to the cupcakes, so we'll do the cupcakes tomorrow. Other than that though, like we had a pretty nice day. It wasn't like too busy or too much stuff going on. And then she got her birthday gift. I thought it was going to be delayed and that it was going to come on the 15th, but it actually came today. And when I ordered it, it said it was going to arrive today, but then a couple days ago it said it was coming on the 15th. So I was like, well, I don't think your birthday gift is going to be here. But then I know we got a box this morning, and I happened to check with the store that I bought it from, or the retailer that I bought it from, and I saw where the package had arrived. So we went ahead and opened that, and she has a telescope. There's a specific star that she's been looking at, and so I was like, you know, she keeps asking about this star, and she's been talking about a telescope for a little while now, so I figured I'd go ahead and get her one. So that's what I got for her birthday today. And then my cousin, one of my cousins, because I had a bunch of cousins, but one of my cousins bought some stuff from Edible Arrangements. We got cupcakes, we've got like chocolate covered pretzels, strawberries, cookies, turtles. Like, it's so much sweet stuff. So we got that, and then I think she's gonna get a gift tomorrow. She might be getting some other things for her birthday, but I think she's getting ready to go to bed. But anyway, that is that. So we had cream spinach, and then we had the sweet potato casserole for dinner, and barbecue chicken. Now, since I've done these recipes before, I didn't record any of that. I just kind of showed you all what it looked like at the end. And so I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this because I laughed at myself. So I wanted to talk about this because I laughed at myself too. And you know how people are always posting pictures of their food that they cooked, especially for like Thanksgiving and for like Christmas. For the holidays, everybody's cooking, everybody's posting a picture of their cooking. Like, you know, look what I did, this is the bomb.com, all that stuff. But, you know, and I do post pictures of my food as well when I cook, because I'm proud of it. And I spend a lot of time on it, and it's cooked with love, of course. But this is one where I don't know if I'm gonna post it. The food, I'll say this right here. So as a preface, the food is good. Both of the side items are really good. But the way especially the cream spinach looks, I know it's gonna get clowned. I clowned it myself. Like, okay, so basically what happened is after you cook the spinach. My voice has been doing this like sporadically throughout the day, but basically what happens, you cook the spinach, you let it wilt, and it said like cook it for 2 minutes till it's tender and it's wilted, drain it, and then you pour like ice cold water over it, kind of stop it. The idea is to make it stop cooking, kind of like the same thing that you do with noodles. Whatever, you pour cold water over it and that makes it stop cooking. Then after you do that, then you're supposed to dry it off with a towel, put it into a food processor, and then finely chop it. So it's supposed to be finely chopped in a food processor, and then you put it in the creamy sauce. That's what's supposed to happen. But we don't have a food processor, so our kind of makeshift way of blending or finely chopping it in this instance was a blender. I think I've actually done it with a blender before, but I know a lot of times, sometimes I'll skip that step and I won't even put it in the blender at all, and I'll just like take it straight from being drained, and I'll just kind of throw it into the creamy sauce and mix it up, and I don't even bother to chop it at all. Now, we had a blender before this one. This one that we have now is like a Ninja something, but the blender that we had before, it wasn't as good of one. The blades weren't as sharp. So with that one blending, it actually did finely chop the spinach. This one, the Ninja that we have now, the blades are very sharp. They are much sharper than the blender that we had before, which is why I got it, because the last blender we had really didn't do as good of a job as far as like blending and making smoothies and stuff like that. It wasn't doing that great of a job. So I decided to get this Ninja because this Ninja cuts things up really, really well, and it blends and makes smoothies and everything really well. So that's why I bought it. But when I put the spinach in today, like, it pureed it. It was not finely chopped. By the time it was done, it was pureed, and I only set it on like high for like just a second, just a couple of seconds, and it was pureed in a matter of seconds. And I was like, great, now it looks like goose poop. We have, okay, so here we get a lot of Canadian geese. We get a lot of Canadian geese during certain parts of the year, and it just reminds me of their poop. So that's why I didn't post the food, because the spinach looks just like Canadian geese poop, or geese poop. Just to be generic, it just looks like geese poop. It tastes good though, like, and I was afraid. So I was afraid when I put it on my plate, and I was afraid that it wasn't gonna taste good, because I'm like, the way it just looks like it's poop. And even like when I was mixing it in the sauce, I started laughing. I had to turn my head so I could laugh, because like I didn't want to laugh over the food, but like I thought it was funny. It was seriously funny. It's like, yeah, this is not creamed, it's pureed. But yeah, so look, sometimes you have to laugh at yourself and just admit like what you did was a mistake, or maybe you could have done something a little bit differently. But like in this case, I thought it was funny, but it tastes good still. So I wouldn't focus so much on how it looks, but how it tastes in this case. But I like it. I went back and I got seconds. But it just doesn't look the most appetizing, but it is actually really good. So anyway, that was kind of like my laugh for the day. Yeah. So anyway, that kind of is a wrap, or like a synopsis and a brief little rundown of what happened today. Something else that's important to mention. So yesterday, like, I was recording several different videos yesterday, and my dad's actually He's at the he's in the hospital right now, and it's for fluid basically. So he's got some fluid that he needs to kind of get off of. Well, not kind of, he has some fluid on him that he needs to get off. And so I guess he was starting to feel kind of uncomfortable as far as like breathing and stuff like that. So he ended up asking my mom about going to the hospital yesterday, and this was like 6 a.m. ish yesterday, and I told her Sunday, 6 a.m. on Sunday. And so I was like, well, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you say anything? And she's like, well, I know you were recording your videos and that kind of thing, but I'm just like, that's important. But anyway, so I initially had planned that I was going to go back to my house tonight, and then I would be at my house Tuesday, because today's Monday. So I was going to be at my house Tuesday to record my covers, because that's normally the day I record is on Tuesdays and then Thursdays. But I'm going to be here in my parents' house tomorrow to record the cover, just because I don't want to leave my mom here by herself. Even though Jax is here, you know, it's still different. So I wanted to stay here with her tonight, at least stay here until my dad comes back, and then, you know, I'll be back on schedule and I'll be back at my house and recording things. But until then, I'll be here, which I guess, well, he said that it'll probably be a couple of days or so. But anyway, that's what's been going on. So he wasn't here to celebrate my mom's birthday. He was in the hospital today, but he was saying that, you know, he didn't want this to go on until Christmas, because he's been kind of back and forth with the fluid. Like, he'll have fluid build up, and then it'll go down a little bit, and then it'll come back, and then it's like back and forth. And he's kind of been having that going on since Thanksgiving. So since Thanksgiving until about now. So I guess he was kind of tired of it. He's like, you know, I see like Christmas is coming, and so he didn't really want to have that fluid build up and be going through that for Christmas. So he decided yesterday to go ahead and go to the hospital and see the doctors, or visit with a doctor, to kind of get that resolved and get it taken care of. So I don't know, just like send positive vibes and thoughts and prayers, whatever, for him, positive energy. And I don't know, that's it for this vlog. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think that's all the update that I really need to give right now. Last thing I wanted to know, so I was planning to use my new camera. I'm not gonna say but. I was planning to use my new camera. However, I am going to actually get a new lens for it. The lens that it has isn't, the lens that I have, it's like everything's so blurry, and it doesn't seem to do well with like close-ups. Like right here, I'm close up and I can see myself very clearly in the viewfinder. But if I use the other camera, the new one that I have, the Sony, if I use that one with the current lens that it has, it's not, the focus and everything is really blurry if I'm doing like something up close or vlogging up close like I'm doing now. So I'm ordering a new lens, a shorter lens for it. It's gonna be like the lens it has on it now is, I think, 35 to 70. I think so. The one that I'm buying now is like 16 to something or other. But basically it's going to be a lens that ought to do a lot better for like close-up videos like this one is. I'm getting that on the 19th or something like that, I think. So it's going to be a little while before I'm actually using that camera. I was really excited. I was so excited to get ready to use it, but it's just a little bit longer. And my thing is, I'm like, I spent this much on this camera, but I can't use it. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go ahead and invest in the lens, even though I really don't want to. Looking at the price tag of it, I really don't want to invest in this lens. But at the same time, it's like, well, I already spent this amount on a camera. If I'm going to do it and I want to do this right, then I'm gonna have to put the money in. So I'm gonna need this lens. So if I don't have this lens, it's not gonna work the way that I want it to. So I just went ahead and did it, because I was like, otherwise I'm not gonna be able to use this camera the way that I want and the way that I need to. And then it's pointless. At that rate, I might as well just send the camera back and get my refund and then just keep filming with this one. But anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you all again so much for watching. Thank you all again so much for supporting, and I will see you all for the next vlog.